Place the meat
Your traditional Sunday night roast could be your every night roast, anytime, anywhere, and it's because it's so delicious. You don't have to babysit it, especially if you're using a crock pot. But there's one step that most people forget to do or aren't aware that you're supposed to be doing for the flavor.
Okay, so our meat's been sitting out for a little bit, about 15 minutes or so. This is what we're working with right now. Got a chuck pot roast from Walmart, $20 for, looks like 2.4 pounds. While we're getting this prepped, we've got the crock pot warming up. And then I also, on the stove, we've got our cast iron warming up as well. So let's get the meat ready to go. Now that the meat has come a little bit closer to room temperature, we're going to prep it. It's going to be very simple with just salt and pepper. We're going to do pepper from our grinder. It's such a big piece of meat, we don't want to really skimp on the salt or the pepper. All right, let's get the kosher salt out, which kosher salt, if you guys can see that there. I'm just going to press that firmly into the meat. All right, flip it over and do the same thing on this side. Again, we're going to press that into the meat. And that's really it as far as seasoning is going to go. Our cast iron should be smoking by now, ready to take some oil. And then we're going to go ahead and get this browned, and then we're just going to pop it back into the crock pot. Okay, cast iron is scorching hot, starting to smoke a little bit, so we're going to go ahead and place in the oil. All we have right now is olive oil. It's a good little coating. And then we're just going to place the meat which is a little big for the pot. I didn't measure. Got to make sure all the bottom sides are touching the bottom of the cast iron. I want to give this a couple, a good 2-3 minutes on each side. You want to be careful with the smoke being a little gray here. It's a little hot. We're going to kick that down a little bit. But we want that hot heat to sear both sides. We're just looking for color before we put it into the crock pot. We're not looking to cook the meat. We just want the outside to sear. All right, we are now ready to flip. It's been a couple minutes. Again, we're not looking to fully cook the meat, but we just want that outside to brown as much as possible. So we'll push that in down. You can see a nice little coloring on that side. In the meantime, in the crock pot, just kind of whatever flavoring you're trying to go with the meat, potatoes, and the carrots. We're doing a little bit of vegetable broth with beef bouillon cubes, and then we'll add in some of our fresh garlic that we have. All right, got some potatoes. Just want to loosely, roughly cut them up to where they're approximately at the same size, and then I'm going to have those go in first, so that the steak is kind of resting on top. Potatoes are going to cook a little bit longer than the carrots will, so we'll put the carrots in later. All right, so now it's time to come grab our meat. Again, very hard to do this one-handed. All right. Got some really nice color to that meat there. Plus all of this here at the bottom, we want to deglaze the bottom of that pot, get all that flavoring into the crock pot as well. So let me get this over into the crock pot. You see the coloring on the meat. Again, we're not fully cooking the meat. We just want that outside to caramelize a little bit. We're going to finish it off in the crock pot. All right, so to deglaze, we're going to use a little bit of wine. You can use water. What we want to do is get all of the bits and pieces and the rest of that oil into the crock pot. And because it's cast iron, we can use a wire skillet. And this is doing two different things. One, it's grabbing all that flavor off of the bottom of the cast iron. And then two, it's helping us clean our pot to make it a little bit easier to clean. This is going to be full of flavor. We're going to let this reduce down a little bit. And then this is going to go on top of the meat. So we're done with reducing that liquid that was left in the pot. And this is just nothing but flavor. So that's going to go in. And then roughly chop up an onion. Not so much so that it cooks for the final process, but I'm doing this for flavor. So these onions are actually going to cook down into almost nothing while it's cooking. Break this up a little bit. And again, you can get as creative as you want with your flavoring. We're going to go with a little bit of smoked paprika on the top. And then a little bit of granulated garlic. We've got our fresh garlic on the bottom already. But this is going to be good to go. And we're going to have it sit for, we probably won't eat until maybe another 8 hours or so. So we're just going to let it sit. And we've got it on low.
So when you're about 2 hours from sitting down for your meal, you're going to want to throw in those carrots. You can put baby carrots, big carrots, whatever you want to go with. They don't take that long to cook, and it kind of just depends on the doneness that you like them. I don't like mine super mushy, so we do maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours before we eat. The meat is going to fall apart. This is going to be absolutely delicious. It's basic. And when you're doing this, don't forget to sear the meat. If you want to go a little step above that, reduce those juices after you're done searing, pour them into the crock pot. That is taking the flavor to the next level. You're going to love it. Let me know what you think.